Let me just post a question. Oh, go ahead.
Just have another question. I noticed that I had quite a few friends who transferred into being small business operators on Facebook. And initially, as I was reading I kept thinking, are these people so egotistical? Like, they're just always bragging about themselves. Is there a way is there etiquette or protocol that, because
Yes.
it really did come across to me as like, wow.
Can I ask, are they successful though?
I have no idea, but they're always on there.
I doubt it.
Everything they're doing.
The first thing that we preach to our clients about content for their websites when they're doing websites, and we've done over 1,600 now, is, and they look at me shocked, and I'll say, listen, it's not about you. It's not I, it's not we, it's you and it's your. And the simplest sales rule in the world that is the most effective, get this, I mean, it's a little bit of slang, but it's so simple. What do you got? What will it do for me? And what are the next steps? And it's amazing how they don't think of it that way. It's I do this and I do that, but I would highly doubt that they're very successful. But if that answers your question, that is not the way to do business at all. It's benefits, benefits, benefits. It shouldn't be bragging about themselves.
Another trend that we saw, and it was probably mostly because of people's lack of understanding of how to use Facebook, was they started with a personal Facebook profile that they turned into a business profile. And so their personal Facebook became a business Facebook, when really what they should have done is kept their personal and started a business fan page separately. But there's a ton. I have colleagues that did the same thing, and in fact they had to back out of it because now they have a mix of what they're doing in church and their family and whatnot, yet they're pushing their product or service, or they're a consultant at the same time on the same page. And those things, you're right, they don't mix. So I suspect some of the people you're talking about are probably people that went down that path, where they didn't separate the identities. And what Jay's saying is the business identity is really not about the business and pushing out. It's engaging this way.
How many people, when they're buying things or booking a hotel or whatever, are looking at reviews? Okay, there you go. Okay, now how many people then made a decision because of what other people said? Exactly. That is social media to its truest degree. Everything I do, I always do reviews. And this is a quick little story, true story. Old rock and roller. I went to that Aerosmith concert here 3 weeks ago. So I needed a hotel downtown close to Rogers. It's Rogers, or it used to be GM Place, now it's Rogers Place. So I booked into the Best Western, but only after I used my iPhone. I have an app here. So I used my app on my iPhone looking for various different hotels. So I found the Google Places. Everybody know what Google Places is? Okay? And then what happened is I seen 4- and 5-star reviews left, right, and center saying excellent hotels, this kind of stuff. So I ended up booking the hotel. But get this though, I get to the hotel 2 hours before the concert because so many, I guess half the town I think went to the Aerosmith concert from here. Anyways, bottom line is I get to the hotel, guess what? My room's not available. So I'm sitting there, oh gosh, what am I going to do? It's 2 hours before the concert. So you know what they did? They said, Mr. Somerville, can we come in your vehicle? I said, well, absolutely, what's up? They said, well, it wasn't our fault. Somebody else, the person the night before, never checked out of the room. We have no idea where this person is. They brought me over to a hotel, custom, in my vehicle, a block away, to a $500 a night custom suite, 3 big screen. It was absolutely incredible. Now, after that concert, do you think that I posted a comment about the incredible service about Best Western? Absolutely. And look what I'm doing right now. I'm bragging about them. Now also, on that weekend, sometimes when we go to Vancouver, we like to shop. So anyways, there's a big music store there, and I wanted to buy a new drum kit. So the sales rep was just really, really being pushy, and I said, listen, I think it's the right price, but I need to do my reviews. So I took my iPhone, went out in Granville Street there, put the name of the drum kit and stuff like that, reviews, and it was other people that made the sale. I went back in, I said, okay, you got a deal. So everything we do, we were in Hawaii a month ago, we wanted to pick a luau, but we didn't want to just pick any luau, so we went to the one that had all those 4- and 5-star reviews. So anything you're thinking about buying, go into Google, or even any company you're thinking of dealing with. It could be a car lot. Take the name of that business. In fact, I tell, go ahead, put Webacom and add that word complaints. You'll find out so much about a company before you do business with them. It's unreal. But what I like about this, okay, old hippie thing, but it's people power again. Because what happens is they are the influencers now on what my buying decision is. And if you don't have that type of social media out there, it will affect your business for sure.
This is an excellent point. How many of you business owners Google your own business to see what people are saying about you out there?
Excellent.
It's very, very important because the power of that review, positive or negative, and especially negative, is very, very powerful.
And the other thing on that, do you use Google Alerts, sir?
No, I don't.
Okay, so if you go to Google Alerts and you sign up for free, you put your company name and or your competitors' names, and anything said online about you or your competitors, it's going to go right into your inbox on a daily basis, and you'll know anything that is being said about your company instantly with Google Alerts.
The best one is when you put your competitor's name in. It's fascinating.
Okay,
and it's immediate.
I just have one comment. You're right that you should have a website first. And it's also a good idea to host your blog on your own website, because then if you decide later to change to another platform, you know, like from Blogger to WordPress or something, you don't lose all those old posts, because you can just block the access of Blogger or whoever it is to your website and keep all your old posts there, and you know they're archived in Google for years and years. Whereas if you take the easy way and host your blog on Blogger or somewhere for free, you're at their mercy.
Correct.
And they can take your blog down in 15 minutes, and you'll never figure out who to complain to or how to get it back. It's gone.
Yes, and this is what I mentioned in the beginning about intellectual property. If you're driving all the social media campaigns to your website, you own that website, and hopefully Facebook never falters, but if 80% of your business is coming from Facebook, if all of a sudden it's down or they start charging you, it's going to affect your business, and that's why everything should go to your website. And I think we had a few more questions here as well. Oh, go ahead.
Let's say a customer wants to order a baby doll or something,
Yes.
or Chinese food.
Okay.
Does that go through Facebook, through your website? How does that work best?
So let's just take Chinese food. So the first thing with Chinese food that you should have is a Google Places, because it's absolutely critical. So if I put on my voice app right now, I'll say Chinese food, Nanaimo, British Columbia. It's with its GPS, it's going to know exactly which the closest restaurants are if those accounts are set up, and it's going to have reviews about the restaurant. In their Google Places, it's going to have their menu. It might have a coupon, say for first-time users, with a 10% off or something like that. So that's step number one. I'm going to make sure that the reviews about a particular Chinese restaurant are good. Now, with reference to e-commerce, yes, you can. If I had a Chinese restaurant, I would definitely have ordering online for sure. And now, e-commerce though is a whole different subject. And by the way, the biggest thing in e-commerce that you need to do is to soothe that nervous buyer. If your return policies are like a 6-point font on the bottom of your site and it's not clear, if your guarantees aren't clear, if you're not using a secure certificate with the lock in the top of your address bar, then you're going to get yourself into trouble. And I do admit, by the way, on that point, don't ever do reservation forms or anything unless you understand what SSL encryption is, because you are personally liable. What that means is basically, if you don't encrypt your data and you take credit cards, a hacker can go in and get all 16 of those digits. So with encryption, each digit becomes 8 different digits that makes it almost impossible to encrypt. But it's your liability and your responsibility to take care of those credit cards. And we run into this, Jason, a dozen times a year where somebody will call up, yeah, I need some work on my website, and I'll take a look at it, and there's no SSL. So don't buy anything online unless you see that little lock in the address bar, and make sure they have a valid certificate.
And if you're trying to set up e-commerce on your own website, it's not a do-it-yourself project. I mean, that is absolutely something you want to hire an expert to do.
From shipping to integration with UPS or Canada Post, e-commerce is very, very, very complicated. Any other questions? Yes?
Got a question, Jake. Now, if you've actually got a portfolio for your business on Facebook already, and you want to have a link to it, Now you see these things on TSN or whatever it says, go to facebook.com/ and then the business. That is so much simpler to try to find that title than a link that says your company, but it's got a bunch of question marks and FHMP, this, blah, 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 and the thing just looks tremendously long, right? So how do you simplify that for your own business so that you can have facebook.com/ whatever your business title is, whatever your company name is?
Okay.
How do you do that?
Excellent question. What you're talking about is a dynamic database-driven website, and that's what all that code is. You should not be using those types of systems unless you can put keywords in the page name. So even if it is a dynamic database, we deal with all kinds of them, it's a WYSIWYG that you add that allows you to stuff the page name with keywords. Now the other thing that's so important is to make sure to have a short domain, because if it's too long, then it's not going to be very good in an ad. But one of the doctors that we deal with, we're just doing a big TV campaign with them, and it's Facebook and everything else. So it's drchugay.com/TV. So again, and the ad is relevant to this special. I won't mention what the special is. Okay, buttock implants, believe it or not. I'm not kidding. Anyways, it's a big market in California for that. And anyways, this is what happens is it drives, I'm turning red now, but it turns a bunch of business into his website. Then what happens is, once you're there, he has his YouTube channel, his Facebook channel, and from there they can, and his media channel where they can learn more about it.
Now a lot of people are talking about Facebook and the Twitter, the LinkedIn's, and all these other sites, Big and Delicious, Stumble Upon. There's a million of them kind of thing now. Now everyone wants to go, well geez, how can I manage these things all at once, right? So there's a couple that I've come across now. There's Hootsuite, and okay, there's Hootsuite, and there's Flock.com, or Hootsuite.com, I guess it is. And that's how, if everybody wants to try to manage, instead of going to go from one Twitter, then go to the next site, Facebook, and then go, you can kind of manage it all at one site, yes. Or Flock.com or Hootsuite, and then it's all there. So
yes, there's
streamlined
automation tools that once you do your post, it'll go to all of your social media. And if you have a whole bunch of social media channels, it makes it much, much easier. Very, very, very cool. Do you have a website as well? Do you have a website as well, besides your Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've got that kind of LinkedIn, but that's why like I wanted to send out newsletters and that sort of thing, right, with a different business. But it's just more, I didn't want to have my link as being, you know, my business name, and then it's just, like I said, question mark, this, that. I just wanted to be, you know, facebook.com/ my business name.
I think one thing that Jay said, and I'd reiterate this a million times, your own website should be what you drive people to, and then branch to your social media from there. Do you know how much free advertising Facebook gets from businesses? I see Starbucks running television ads. They no longer promote Starbucks.com, they promote facebook.com/Starbucks.
That's right.
Which is millions and millions and millions of free traffic to Facebook, free advertising for Facebook. Facebook has all sorts of widgets that you can integrate into your own website. So on our radio station page in the right rail, we actually have our Facebook stream, but we drive everybody to cjocfm.com, and our Facebook activity is in a widget right on our home page. Now we also have facebook.com/cjocfm because we wanted to protect our brand. So I think it's important to register all those vanity domains, twitter.com/your brand. I don't personally believe in giving free advertising to all those social media guys that are already multi-billionaires. So I tend to use my traditional media to drive people to my own domain that I own, because frankly, Facebook may well disappear one day. And I'm not saying it's ever going to happen, but do you remember AOL in the 90s?
What was that?
But people younger than you and I would ask that. They would say, AOL, what, who? Alta Vista was the big search engine when I first got on the internet in 1995. So is Facebook going to disappear? Probably not. But could it disappear? Potentially it could. And you don't own that domain.
We're going to have to stop here, I guess. I have some evaluation sheets I'd just like to hand out. So if you want to just take some notes on there, because we have the next group coming in here in about 10 minutes. That's all right. I'll just pass them.